Alright guys, tonight we're at our 250 yard location. I'm going to be shining the lights down to about a 5.5 foot cement drainage that's about 3.5, 4 feet high down at the end of the park, somewhere over there, right around there. I've got the camera set to a mode that's going to let in as much light as possible, so we're not going to have any variable shutter or aperture or anything like that. The color and the focus are going to be set to automatic. Alright, this light is on. It's coming on from a cold start. You can see we've already got thousands of lumens down there, even at the 50 watt setting, and you might be able to see that concrete drainage right down there. We'll draw a line straight up to it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to put this between my legs for a second and get out the PH50, and we'll shine that down there as well. Okay, the PH50 just came on. You can see how fast this thing fires up. Look at the corona on that thing. Again, it does start up quicker than the LX70. It's just got a much higher boost wattage, and it does have a much larger corona. So you're going to get a wider field of view. But with the LX70, the Z Vision LX70, you're going to get a much more precise and focused hotspot. There's the drainage with the PH50 and the drainage with the LX70 at 50 watts. Both lights at 50 watts, approximately 5,000 lumens. I do have to be careful over here on the left side, past this bank. There are houses back there behind a row of trees. The trees are going to stop some of this, but I don't want to go too high. You can see some lights over here, or some trees that are closer at about 100 yards. There's the concrete drainage with the LX70 and with the PH50. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on the LX70 up to 70 watts. And this will take just a second to come up. You might ignore these first few seconds here as it comes up to 70 watts. Wow, amazing stuff. Every time I use this light, I'm amazed, because I'm used to some pretty powerful lights, some pretty powerful handhelds, not like some of the hobbyists on CPF that really dabble in the huge stuff. But when it comes to handhelds, I've tested just about all of them. Okay, so there it is, 70 watts, concrete drainage. It is bright as day out there. The good old Polarian, it's an amazing light, just doesn't have the hot spot that the LX70 does. But we've got about a 3-inch aperture, or a little bit less, compared to about 72 millimeters, as compared to 100 millimeters out of the LX70. So it's just more focused. Now if I scroll up this tree back there, there's actually a telephone pole at about 507 yards, and this thing lights it up very easily. The PH50 does touch it, and I can see it pretty well. It's just not near the intensity of the LX70. The Z Vision is just an absolute monster. And it's kind of amazing, we'll talk about this on the desktop too, but it does all this without a real big handicap in size. Not much of a difference as far as actually carrying these two lights. Only about a half a pound really is with regards to weight, and the overall form factor, it's quite carryable, quite packable. I've already done several hikes with these lights, and the LX70 seems like it's just as carryable as my other HIDs. Alright, for those of you with Polarian Abysses, this is a 45 watt light. It's about 4,500 lumens. It has a slightly textured reflector. It is primarily designed as a diving light. We're going to go ahead and turn this on high. Again, watch how fast this thing fires up. You got several thousand lumens within a couple seconds there. Now this is going to go past its operating output of 4,500 lumens, and it's going to zip this thing up to about 7,000 lumens momentarily. And then as that boost phase passes, it's going to come back down. as far as output goes, and it's coming back down now, and that's usually marked by that color shift. This is 4300 Kelvin, and let's go ahead and shine the LX70 down there. So we've got the light on the left, that's the Polarian Abyss, and the LX70, and boy, can you see that hot spot out there. Here's some trees back here. Shine it up along those trees, and let's take the same sweep with the Polarian. There's a car on the road up there. I'm going to have to put the lights a little bit lower here in a second. Let's go right over here. Here's the Polarian Abyss at 100 yards and the LX70 at 100 yards. Okay, then back down range here. There's the concrete drainage, and here it is with the Polarian Abyss and the LX70 again. 25 watts difference, and a big difference in the size of the reflector. Not only is it much smaller, but this one also has a texture to it. So it's not designed to be an all-out throw light, but it is a very versatile and compact HID light. It's extremely tough. As with the 100-yard test, we've got the Phoenix RC40 back again. It's one of the best throwing and best overall output at 3,500 lumens and 130,000 candela. And we'll go ahead and shine that down there. And this will be one of the top production LED lights as far as output and throw go. So we're going to bump this all the way up. There's maximum. I'm going to bump it back down just so that you can see that was maximum. Here's maximum. You can see it at the trees over here at 100 yards. 250 yards. All right, let's go ahead and put the LX70 down there. Here's the concrete drainage with the LX70 and the concrete drainage with the RC40. Again, LX70, RC40. And what you're seeing there, guys, is not a small difference. We've got about half the lumens out of the RC40, but we've got about 1/5, 1/6 the throw out of the RC40. And again, this is one of the top overall LED lights out there available right now that you can buy as a production light that falls into a hand holdable, you know, under 4.5, 5 pounds light. This light's actually under 3 pounds, the RC40. All right, just kind of show you the difference there between a couple of the big guns in each of their category. Love LED, it's ultimately versatile, but just cannot match the throw characteristics of a high quality HID with electroform reflector, especially in this 100mm class. You can see that power line or that telephone pole out there, RC40, I cannot see it, not from behind the beam with the atmosphere illuminated. LX70, it's a piece of cake, I can see it very easily. Alright guys, this next comparison is a little bit for fun and a little bit for a practical measure, just because so many people are using LEDs today. They are fantastic, high value. I've got the TM26 by Nitecore here, 3,500 lumens, a big swath of light there. You can see this thing really lights up the field, distributes those lumens pretty evenly. Over here is the tree at 100 yards. Actually, several trees bunched together. But you can see 3,500 lumens looks pretty impressive, lights up the whole field, but the throw is where we're missing out with this light. You can see here the LX70. This thing is a laser beam with 7,500 lumens worth of light. Again, I love LEDs. I use them out in the field more than anything else. I probably use them at a 90% to 10% ratio as compared to HID, but when I need something it's going to give me the ultimate throw performance and color quality, I reach for HID. Nothing can touch it, and we're probably still a number of years away from being able to match this kind of performance with HID. I'm sorry, with LED. Hey guys, Patriot back with you again. This is another night. This is the third night out. I've actually had to move locations a little bit. All of the shrubbery that was behind me over here is now gone, and I wanted a little bit of privacy, so I moved down this way about 40 yards or so. Anyhow, we're going to aim for the same spot out there. Got some coyotes out here barking. I'll see if I can get them on video, but I've got the TN32. We're going to put that up against the Z-Vision LX70 and see how it does out here at 250 yards. Alright guys, this will be the TN32 and LX70. You can see we're on strobe. I'm going to move it to neutral, and now it's at the high position. You can see this light really does great for an LED. It is quite impressive. There's the concrete drainage out there at about 240 yards tonight, since our location moved a little bit. And here's the LX70 at 70 watts. There they are, kind of next to each other. There's the drainage. So as good as this LED light does, you can see up against a large HID, there's just no comparison. In fact, every time I look at the drainage with the LX70 and then go back to the TN32, I question whether the light's on high, so I switched to neutral and then back to high. But there it is. Here it is over on the tree over here, 100 yards, the group of trees, and the LX70. See the difference in hot spot there. So again, one of the best throwing LED lights available, production LED lights available, and it does quite good for its price point and the fact that it's LED, but compared to HID, they're worlds apart. All right, something a little bit different. You recognize this? Thing's huge. Power on board, HID. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. All right. You can see that that big reflector actually does help out a little bit. We got about 3,000 lumens out there. Got a lot of traffic on the road tonight. People gawking. All right, let's put it out there with the LX70 now at 70 watts. You can see the difference in color temperature. There's the concrete drainage. Yeah, everyone's real interested tonight in the lights. It's 9 o'clock at night too, I'm surprised. You can see the concrete drainage there. A lot brighter with the LX70, of course. But hey, for a relatively inexpensive HID with SLA battery, it does pretty good. Alright guys, a quick walk down range for you, just so that you can kind of see what this light looks like, and then we'll sign off.